Hey, what is up you guys? Asoobie here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build video on the channel. So today we are working on this. I don't know exactly what this is. I guess it most closely resembles a bar, even though I did not want this to be a bar because I already built a bar in Sulani, and I just didn't want two bars, relatively close to one another. But I guess this closely resembles a bar, so I guess today we're building a bar. This originally was supposed to be a romantic beachside restaurant build. And, when I started building this, those were my intentions. I wanted to build a romantic beachside restaurant. That's what I had in mind. And I don't know what happened along the way. I don't know exactly where I got distracted or whatever. But I ended up building a bar basically. I mean, you could still come here and have a romantic date. It is cute. It's a really cute build. I love all the greenery. I love all of the deck space where you could just chill and hang out. But yeah, this doesn't give romantic restaurant vibes whatsoever. I don't know how I got lost or, you know, uh, I don't know what happened. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know what happened. I don't know when in this build my brain just fogged up and started building a bar. All I know is that that's what happened, and I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like it. And the reason I was building a romantic restaurant in Sulani is because it was supposed to be for the second date my Sims were gonna go on my Sims in my island living let's play were gonna go on a second date, right? And I wanted them to go on a romantic, date and stuff, and I was building a romantic restaurant and I screwed up somehow. I don't know how this happened. Oh, and by the way, if I sound a little bit like weird, it's because I literally am recording this voiceover at 6 in the morning. I just woke up and now I'm sitting here recording a voiceover. I probably should have gave myself an hour or two to like fully wake up. But I'm doing this instead because why not? Also, I don't even know why I woke up so freaking early because I didn't set an alarm. I didn't set an alarm or anything like that. My body just naturally woke up and I'm like, oh, that's great. That's cool. Thank you, body, for waking up so freaking early, even though I really don't need to be up this early. I hate when my body does that. Sometimes it just does that. Wakes me up at crazy hours of the morning, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm up. I guess I'm up. So I'm doing this voiceover, and after I do this voiceover, I'm recording part 3 of my Life is Strange double exposure Let's Play. And then after I record that, I have to record an Astrobot video, and, oh, is that a fucking motorcycle? Who uses a motorcycle at this hour in the morning? I hope my mic caught that. Jeez, waking up the whole damn neighborhood. Speaking of loud sounds, I don't know if my mic will catch it. I hope it doesn't. But if you guys hear any, like, squawking in the background or squeaking in the background or just, noises like that in the background, it's my mom's bird. She got herself a bird like 2 months ago, and it's adorable. He's green and like orangey, and he's an adorable bird. But in the mornings, he does what birds do. Chirps a lot and makes a lot of noises. So if you guys hear that in the background, I do apologize. Maybe I shouldn't be recording this voiceover early in the morning, but I'm here and I'm already doing it. So I hope you guys don't hear that like at all. I hope you guys can't hear the birds squawking, squeaking, squawking. What? Okay, wait. How would you describe the sounds that a bird does? I know some people use chirping, but chirping is like very light, right? The sounds he makes are loud. So is it squawking? Squawking? Squeaking? Chirping? I don't know. Bird sounds. Bird sounds. He's making bird sounds, and I hope the mic doesn't catch that at all. Ooh, let's talk about the build for a bit. I was struggling to come up with a color scheme for this build. I didn't know if I wanted it to be modern on the inside. I didn't know if I wanted to just like put wood panelings all over it. I didn't know if I wanted like white furniture and make it like, just uber modern or whatever. Ultimately, I decided to just go with like wood paneling and older looking furniture. But I struggled a bit. Eventually, you will see me switch the flooring to a darker wood because I thought that looked better. Um, yeah, I kind of struggled with this build a little bit because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I pretty much wasn't sure about anything. I wasn't sure what vibe I wanted to go for, and like I mentioned, this was supposed to be a romantic restaurant, and it turned into whatever this is. It doesn't really have restaurant vibes. It has more, I don't know, bar vibes, lounge vibes. Not sure. Also, what is with all the fucking loud vehicles this morning? Jeez Louise. Like, I know I live on a busy street. I'm kind of used to, loud vehicle sounds, but in this, like in the morning? My God. Anyways, yeah, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this build. The funny thing is, the bathroom is what influenced me to go with like dark wood tones. You will see. The bathroom changes. I think I start off with the cabinets or the countertops, and that influences the entire build. And I just start going with like darker wood tones. And I honestly think that was the best choice for me because it definitely improves the entire build a lot. I'm wondering if there's like something under construction near me or something. Because I'm noticing that a lot of the vehicles that are passing by, the loud ones, they seem like construction vehicles and like trucks and stuff like that. So there must be something under construction nearby, like up the street or something, because it's kind of unusual for this many construction vehicles to pass by. I'm like confused. So I guess that's what all the loud noises, construction vehicles. I don't know. There's not really anything being built around me, at least none that I've noticed. So I'm a little bit confused. Or maybe they're leaving a job site. Y'all, I don't know anything about construction. All I know is that they have loud vehicles and those vehicles are passing by my building and I'm going insane. Because I'm doing a voiceover. And after I do this video, I have more videos to record. Today's one of those days where I'm just recording a lot of videos back to back to back. So hopefully these construction vehicles like die down a little bit because I have so many videos to build or videos to film, and things to build, I guess, because I was thinking of doing a room build today as well, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Also, the reason they sound so crystal clear in the microphone, because I did kind of pause my recording to see if you guys could hear them. I'll try to edit them out as best as I can, but I'm not sure if that's going to work. But the reason you guys could hear them so clearly is because I have a window AC unit, those ACs that go on your window. So technically my window's kind of open right now. And since I live right by the busy street, anytime a loud vehicle passes by, you guys could kind of hear it clearly. Which is why I sometimes hate recording videos in the summer. Because I have an AC unit on the window and you guys could kind of hear traffic. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But during winter, obviously all the windows are closed and, vehicles drive slower because of, snowy streets. And it's a lot more quieter during the winter. So recording videos during the winter, perfect. During the summer, not so much because everybody has their motorcycles. My window is technically open. It's a mess. It's a mess. But you know what? We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. Yeah. Oh, I love what I did here with these like candle wall things. I absolutely love how these things turned out. I definitely want to do this thing in a different build. Oh, y'all heard that truck? Y'all heard that big ass truck that just passed by? Anyways, yeah, I want to do this candle thing in a different build. I don't know what build, but I just want to do this candle wall thing in a different build. I really, really like how that turned out. I think it's cute. It also adds lighting and a little bit of privacy. I really, really like how this turned out. I really love that little thing. Honestly, my favorite part of this entire build is probably the balcony area or like the deck area with all of the greenery and like the wood tones and all of that. It's definitely my favorite part of the build. The interior of the building, like the little bar area with the stage, I don't super love. I wish there was more I could have added or done to that part of the build, but I didn't want to overclutter it because, Sims have to walk through that. And since this is a community lot, obviously there's going to be a lot more Sims here. So I didn't want to cause any issues, Sims not being able to walk or anything like that. So I decided to leave it a little bit bare and empty in the inside because I just didn't want to run that risk of Sims acting stupid and not knowing how to walk anywhere. Um, so yeah, I kind of left it a little bit bare in the inside. But the outside, I love the deck area. I really, really love the deck area. I feel like if you're going to hang out here, the deck area is where you're going to spend most of your time. On the main part of the deck area, though, the one that's above the water, I was trying to strike a balance between cluttering it up to give it a more alive feel and not cluttering it up to the point where you can't walk on it. I was trying to strike that balance. So I do add seating, I do add potted trees, I do add things here and there. You will see in a couple of minutes. I do add things there, but I was kind of worried. I wanted to like strike that perfect balance, adding enough clutter so it could look alive and, fun, but also not adding so much clutter to the point where it looks unrealistic or like your sim can't walk through it. Because I feel like, a dock area like that, right? You wouldn't clutter it up because people are going to dock their boats or their jet skis or whatever there. So I feel like you wouldn't, fully deck it out, right? I don't know. I just wanted this place to look nice, so I was just doing things that look nice, like those potted trees that I just added. I do add seating here, and then I add an extra bit to the dock, so you could like sunbathe and stuff. So I do add things here and there, but one of my concerns was adding way too much and having Sims struggle to like even walk past. But I think Sims could walk past perfectly fine. At least I hope. I did not playtest this. I'm going to be blatantly honest with you guys. I did not playtest this build because it just seemed unnecessary. But now I'm worried about the deck. But yeah, it's a block and a half. Yeah, they could totally walk through a block and a half, right? Yeah, that area is pretty much clear. So they could totally walk through those by those seats. So I think it's fine. I think this build doesn't really require a playtest. But yeah, I was trying to strike that balance between adding enough clutter for it to look interesting and look nice, and not adding too much clutter to the point where it looks unrealistic and like your sim can't walk through. So yeah, I really like how this build turned out. I absolutely love the exterior of this build. The interior, not so much, but the exterior, I love it. Here, you could see that I add more chairs and more seating. I was debating whether or not to remove those because, like I mentioned, I didn't want to overly clutter everything, but at the same time, it's The Sims, and it looks cool, and it looks good, so I just went for it. And then here, I think I just start adding more plants and stuff like that. This build only took me about, I would say maybe four hours to complete. Yeah, this is fairly quick. This only took like a 4 hours to complete, over 2 days, because I think I built for like 2 hours one day and then 2 hours the next because I had things to do. So it wasn't all in one sitting. But yeah, this build only took about 4 hours. I'll say 5 if I'm being generous. So it was a fairly quick build. Honestly, it might have even taken less. So yeah, maybe like 4 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. I don't know. This was a fairly quick build. Most of it is over water anyways, so, there's not a lot to add. So this is a fairly quick build. I sometimes love builds that are like short and sweet because sometimes I go crazy and I build like a giant suburban and it has a lot of clutter and a lot of rooms, and those builds take a long time. So sometimes building something like this where it's cute and short and sweet is definitely a vibe. It's definitely a vibe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I started with the intentions of building a romantic restaurant and it turned out to be sort of like a bar, a nice fancy bar. Because the other bar that I built for Sulani, it's more of a dive bar. It looks a little bit run down and like you could get cheap drinks there and all of that. But this one seems a little bit more luxurious is not the correct word, but you know what I mean. Like the other bar I built is a little bit run down. You could get cheap drinks there. You can play darts and pool and all that. But here, you know, you could just chill, maybe get a mimosa, something like that. It's a little bit more higher end. So I guess the bars are different enough from one another to warrant having two of them in Sulani. But yeah, this was supposed to be a romantic restaurant, and I don't know exactly what happened. Oh my god. There's a fucking fruit fly in my room. And it's like driving me crazy because it's like flying in front of my monitor. Yo, this morning, this video is a fucking mess. Loud vehicles, loud construction vehicles, fruit flies flying around, my mom's bird, which I don't know if the mic could even catch. This, I thought I was safe recording early in the morning. I guess from now on, I'm gonna have to start recording these voiceover at like midnight or something like that. I used to actually do that. I used to record videos at midnight because, you know, no cars are passing by, or at least very few cars are passing by. So the street is silent. But I fixed my sleeping schedule. I used to pull all-nighters, and now I really don't anymore. I go to sleep fairly early now, which is crazy. So I really don't have a choice but to record these videos like in the morning or the afternoon. Actually, maybe I could start recording these voiceovers maybe around 8, 9 p.m. Maybe the streets are a little bit more silent then. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to figure out the perfect time to do these voiceovers because midnight is not a good time anymore. But I'm gonna leave this video off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you're already a subscriber. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody!